And we are live with episode 155 of the Start, Build, Grow Show. Let's go, Randy Brothers, my friend. What is going on today? How we living, dude?
Man, head spinning a little bit. It's just all day, every day. It's go time right now, man.
It
It's
is
it's it's
go
that
time.
time of year. We got tail season. It's busy season for all of our clients. It's summer with the kids. It's
Mhm.
travel season. It's all in all the time. Go time. So I'm enjoying every minute of it. I feel like I'm at my best when I'm at 110. When I'm going 100 miles an hour, that's my happy place. So I'm ready to roll. And our guest tonight may know a little something about that. This guy is all over the place. Every time I see you, you're traveling, you're working with companies, you're doing all these things, man. You got to be the busiest guy in roofing.
Man, it is
Seen him before.
amazing.
The man, the myth, the legend, Chuck Thokey. What's up, buddy? Welcome back, man.
Hey, I am so happy to be back on the show again. You guys have the best show. It's awesome.
Woo! You hear that, Randy?
Oh,
We got the best
those are big
show,
words,
man. The
You
best
guys can
show.
use that as a soundbite.
Yeah, we're going to clip that up, man, and put that on as a social media post or something. Yeah, we had Chuck back on episode 140, and ever since we have been just getting bombarded with messages. You guys need to bring back Thokey. You guys need to bring back Thokey. So
Love
we listen to the fans, right? It's all about Start, Build, Grow Nation and whatever they want, and apparently they need more Thokey. So that's what we're doing today, right? So Randy, we just got a little bit of hail. Let's start off the conversation there. Obviously, let's start out with some industry news and whatnot. I know it's a big thing in Colorado. We got a little bit of hail. How's it looking?
Hey, man, it's a start, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a world beating storm, but for those of us, again, candidly, okay, it may come off as like, oh, we're in Colorado, right? If you look at the last 5-10 years, two of the top three hail markets, Denver, Colorado Springs, Dallas is number one, right? Not complaining. However, we've gotten used to this pattern year after year after year with hail. We've gone in my direct market 2 years with no hail. So I don't want to be like, oh man, I'm spoiled or complaining, but we're hungry, right? This is a big market, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
roofers, and everybody's hungry. So it's a little something to just kind of get people flowing again and kind of get the business. The energy is coming up pretty heavily in our market and in our own company. So I'm grateful. I mean, the outlook is that there's probably more to come where that came from, just judging by the crazy weather patterns that we've been having. So, I'm optimistic. It should be a pretty good year for those of us hanging out in the Colorado market. And as you know, a lot of people listening and watching, you're from this market, so be encouraged. It's I haven't seen, it's not like every roof you get on, it's just blasted. You got to find it. You got to dig through and figure out where it's at, but there is some damage. There's some things to do. There's some
Mm-hmm.
jobs to be had. That's for sure. Which is I'm very grateful for.
Yep, and I figure we could kind of start there because the whole point of today's conversation is we're going to dive into this top rep sales system, right? Where we're going to help contractors increase their closing percentages, and we're talking higher revenues, more profitable jobs, higher closing percentages, a happier, more successful team. That's going to be the whole point of this conversation. But Chuck, what do you think of this situation, right? So Colorado gets hit. You get some hail. We got all these hungry contractors who they've been waiting for a storm. Now, if you're a homeowner, you're getting your door knocked, 5, 10 contractors. If I'm a sales guy and I know I have a whole ton of competition and I might not be the first person knocking on that door, I might be number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? I mean, do you have any thoughts or any ideas of how you can kind of stand out in a situation like that?
Well, first of all, you got to understand and you got to look at who the competition is. Now,
Mhm.
and I was talking with another company there in Denver. I says, hey, barring elite coming in and knocking on the door, everybody's going to be the same. You got to understand. They started laughing. They're like, hey, that's our competitor. But so what you got to look at is everybody that knocks that door is going to do the exact same thing. You need to take that model, flip it upside down, and do something that's memorable. I just did a quick Facebook message about my biggest fear. It's kind of the same thing. Understanding that, hey, you get to that point where everybody's like, yeah, you're like the 10th person that's coming knocking on my door, and you kind of hit them with, hey, you know what? My biggest fear is that you're going to go with number 11. Or you're going to go with somebody, you're just getting tired of being inundated. You're going to go with the last guy that comes in. So let's sit down, let's talk. Let's show you why this company, whatever company you're with, let me show you why we're different. But ultimately, I have to show it to you. I want to get up on your roof. I'm going to do, whether you're going to do a video, 4K video, bring it back down. Here's the other thing is we keep teaching and training, and we're not the only company that does this. I'm sure that Randy does it too, where they teach and train the video. Getting up on the roof, do the video, bring it back down. And the biggest problem I see, even though I'm whether I'm on stage or I'm yelling and screaming inside of their organization, they still show it on their phone. And I'm like, you sat there, you took the time to do a 4K video, and you're still pulling out your phone. That says you have a 12-inch iPad, with Retina display. Put it on the iPad. What's even better is most homes now have Apple Apple, what is it, Apple TV?
Yeah. The Apple Play or whatever.
I just took the time to do this video. I want to actually show this thing to you.
So you got a Samsung phone, right? It pretty much syncs up with any Samsung TV.
Oh, the Samsung guys.
Oh, Apple. It works. It's great. You press a little button and it finds the TV. And boom, you can send it right to the TV.
He's been waiting for this moment. You teed him up way too well. He's Team Android. He's the guy in the group messages that's making all the text messages green. He's that guy.
Oh, yes.
I'm kidding, Randy. I'm kidding.
I always get that sales guy that says, well, I've got the Samsung, I got the Android.
Well, now it's even better. Figure it out. You could do it even better. But here's the thing, and I'll give you let's take that to another level, Chuck, okay? And here's what nobody's going to do. I'm going to tell you how to do it, and I'm going to give you this idea, and nobody's going to do it. Go to the store, and I even have one. Get one of the little harnesses, right? Put a GoPro right on your dang chest.
Yeah.
Okay. Walk around, tape measure, gloves, whatever, do what you got to do. And narrate that bad boy, like narrate that video with a GoPro on your chest, high definition. Take the little thing out, or you can sync it up, right? You can nowadays it syncs to an iPad, it syncs to a laptop or whatever. You can sync it up and plug it in and show them the video that way. Take it up a notch, right? I mean, the video thing. I remember a few years back. I mean, one of our, I guess you probably know him too. The one of the pioneers of the sales coaching space has been talking about videos for 10 years, and it's just now like a thing where all of us are doing it. But
that's right.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah. What's that presentation system that you were talking to last time that you were on the show as well? What was that? What tool was that? That
was Engage.
Engage.
Yeah. And we're actually turning the heat up with Engage right now, doing some stuff that, I mean, it's I hopefully would talk a little bit about Top Rep, and we're going to announce, what we're doing with Engage right now. And even Engage, when we brought it over to them and says, here, this is what our designer, and I'm not shy to say it. I mean, this designer, her name is Katie Wiley out of Columbus, Ohio. She has done some, just next level stuff inside of Engage, to the point where, it's a listing of all the reps, and there's a little hotspots on each rep. And you just click on you and your video pops up. It's just literally 30 seconds. A quick blurb, a little bit about you. Maybe it's you playing softball, whatever you like to do, that just shows that you're human, your family. But again, it's 30 seconds. It's not something where I'm going to put it on YouTube and let it play for 10 minutes, But there's so much that you can do with this software. My sales reps this morning during our sales meeting, I says, hey, who's all using Engage? They all looked at me and laughed. They go, you already know the answer to this. I'm like, yeah, I actually just looked at the analytics. I mean, I know exactly how many times they look at each page, how long they're on each page, if they even like the page. You know, I'll pull it up in a sales meeting and say, guys, what don't you guys like about this page? Because all of you are spending less than 2 seconds on it, you know? So, I mean, there's so much inside of it that you can do.
I'm gonna pull it up here actually too. So it looks like a super, super cool tool. So
Yeah.
do you have any tips then? So I mean, first off, so I put this in the comments for those who are on Facebook. For those who are listening to the podcast, Engage is actually with an I, so it's INGAGE.io. Looks like a super cool tool in terms of presentation and capabilities. Do you have any tips on something like this? Are you just pulling this up on your iPad and kind of how much time are you spending on certain aspects of the presentation?
So, you know, even though we have quite a few slides, but you know, on a typical PowerPoint presentation, a lot of people are spending 30 to 40 minutes, which is way too long.
Yep.
You should be less than 15, maybe 20 minutes you can push. But once you get towards that 20 minutes, the customer gets a little antsy.
Yeah.
So, you know, using Engage, what's nice with it is you don't have to go through every page if it doesn't even pertain to them. You know, you can literally at the bottom, you can't see here, but at the bottom, there'll be little tabs and you can actually jump to a different section. Or maybe you have your insurance and retail presentations on there and you just click the retail presentation. It's the one that pops up. I mean, there's so much that can be done inside of it. We have a page called Best of the Best, and every rating service for American WeatherTech is at the bottom, and the homeowner can just click and which one they want to look at, and it pulls up all those reviews, and they can just flip through all the reviews. You know, it's crazy what you can do with it.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. Do you think that's a big issue, that people are just spending too much time on their presentation and then they're just losing the customer and losing engagement?
Yeah, you know, so people have been doing presentations for ages and ages, and customers just don't like it. Once you bring in a new, different type of presentation, one that's very interactive with the homeowner, the homeowner gets to play with the presentation themselves and get the information that they want, and you can narrate it while they're, you know, using the presentation. I mean, they enjoy it. The sales rep enjoys it because it's not the same thing every time. You know, they truly see it as a tool to sell the job. They're definitely not going to forget the guy that brought in the Engage presentation.
So is that what you're doing then pretty much? Is you're actually giving the customer the iPad and letting them play with it, or is the salesperson? Because I think that actually does kind of make a difference there.
It's a little bit of a mix.
Okay.
So like when we get to the colors, well, I'll push it over to the homeowner and say, hey, what color would you like to touch? Which color? And then a house with that color will pop up. I mean, it's very interactive, even whether they're picking colors, whether they're going to go through reviews. I mean, it goes on and on.
I feel like interactivity is huge for engagement too. So pretty much you pass that over to them, and then the sales rep just kind of continues to present the way they present and everything like that. That's pretty cool. What do you think of that, Randy?
Yeah, super cool. So I mean, we've been doing the presentation thing for a while now, and here's the reality of it: retail, been doing presentations forever, right? Home service business. I mean, back in the 80s, I mean, the PowerPoint came out, it was like, hey, this is the next level. But insurance sales, people are still standing at the door, doing a 5-minute pitch, shoving a contingency in someone's face, trying to get that deal signed.
Yep.
You know, and there's still an opportunity. So with, you know, a tool like this or the, you know, some of the stuff we use, we still PowerPoint. I mean, we have a really cool, a really well done PowerPoint is still pretty effective in that space. But as it gets more and more competitive, Engage is going to be more and more powerful, I think.
We're putting something together for the insurance space right now where, you know, and I'm just going to spell it out, where it's one page and you can see the journey and you can click on each picture of the journey, and that each piece comes up where the homeowner's like, all right, this isn't going to be like a 20-minute pitch. They can see the entire journey as I'm walking them through it. You know,
Yeah,
so
cool.
They see each piece before I even touch it.
So is the focus on that presentation just basically explaining the insurance process?
really that's it. You're going to have a ton of people that are going to come out. They're going to shove a piece of paper in your face. To me, they have to earn that. And I understand that I also have to earn that right for you to sign anything. And I want to get up on your roof. I'm going to take a look at it before you sign anything so I can earn that business before I ask for it. Again, that helps them to understand, like, wow, that's a lot different from the last 10 people that shoved the paper in my face 5 minutes after they met me.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the insurance, arena, there's not really a price difference, right? I mean, it's the insurance is taking care of the project. I mean, what do you guys notice as the biggest reasons why someone goes with a different contractor? Would you say it's just pretty much that presentation, or what would you guys say is the biggest reason that they go with somebody else, or they decide what contractor they're gonna go with?
So in our space, we have more retail than we do insurance. Now, when I worked Atlanta with Bullet Roof, what you would see there is they would go with Bullet Roof simply because we weren't shoving anything in their face. We called it earning the paper, which was, or we called it the guaranteed contingency, which was earning the opportunity to have them sign it. So we would go up, we'd get the pictures, we get the video, we'd put that 4K video on the iPad, we'd sit down with the homeowner, we'd ask them, hey, do you have a place to sit? I want to share this video, this 4K video with you. If I just had a bunch of pictures, they wouldn't give me the time of day to sit anywhere. But the fact that I had a video, they would say, yeah, come on in. Do you want something to drink? Absolutely. We'd sit down, we'd go through it. And then I'd ask the homeowner, I'd say, hey, up to this point, are you happy with what we've done? And yeah, this is fantastic. So what we're going to do next is we obviously have enough to file the claim. And I'm going to share with you how this works. We're going to call your insurance company, but ultimately that's totally up to you, how you want to go about this. But when that person calls this, or when we call that insurance company, these are the questions that they're going to ask. And I'm going to be here to help you with these. So again, we're going to go through all the way through it. And then once we get their buy and say, is this something that you want to move forward with? I'm asking for the sale right now, and they just don't know it. Is this something you move forward with? Yeah, absolutely. Great. This form right here, what this does is it protects you and it protects me. Again, we were going to run down through it, but again, that is how we get that contingency signed. Now I'll go out and I'll canvas with other companies. And again, it's that, and I'm not going to share the guy's name, but the rough and tumble, I'm going to get up on your roof. He says it 10 times within 2 minutes. I'm going to get up on your roof, and then I'm going to get up on your roof. And it's just that shoving it down the customer's throat.
Mm-hmm. So what's the best way to get on the roof? What do you guys think? You guys got any tips on getting on the roof? I mean, let's just say, hey, you guys knock on my door, right? We got Randy, we got brothers and Thokey out here knocking doors, right? And I answer the door. I say, you guys are like the 10th contractor. Like, just leave me alone. I can't deal with this right now.
Yeah, I'm going to give credit where credit's due on this with Sam and Ben, Sam Taggart and Ben Menchaca, where it's social proof. Like, hey, these are all your neighbors. I've already jumped up on their roof. We're already starting to work with them. We'd love to work with you too. We might as well go ahead and make this a group effort here. Again, that makes things so much easier when you're trying to get on someone's roof. When someone else that they know is already trusting you, it makes it easier for them. Now, with Randy being in that space, being a professional in that space, he may know a couple other
social proof. You're leaning on social proof, right?
Yeah, I think it's hard to. Here's the reality, guys. We spend so much time trying to give this is the perfect script.
True.
We are dealing with humans.
Yeah.
Human to human contact. Simple as that. Find a connection. I don't care how you do it. Find a connection. Okay. Use your personality. Be genuine. Be real. Try different things. I mean, there may be a time you knock on someone's door and they're like, you're the 10th person. You can apologize, or you can thank them, right? You talk about, like, thank you so much, man. I've had 30 people slam the door in my face. You actually opened the door. Thank you. I appreciate that. Obviously you probably know why I'm here. There's a hailstorm. Yeah, but you go into it, whatever. Ask them questions, get them dialogue going. Use your personality. Sometimes if your personality, you can make them laugh. You could say something stupid. You can give them a gift. Give them something like my man Jake Nix was on.
Yes.
Talking about, And we're doing it. We're not doing this. Well, anyways, he's talking about how you give them something. Hey, I know I'm the 10th person here. The reality is, and even like Chuck just said, you probably have damage. There's a good chance somebody you're gonna need some sort of service. But I'm not here to sell you anything, but if you put this on your door, there's a good chance less people are going to be knocking on your door. Hopefully nobody will. So put this little sticker of a stop sign on your door. It says, I already have a contract. Doesn't have to be your name. Doesn't have to be your logo. Don't make it like you don't want to pigeonhole someone to have to use you. Give it to them without any sort of like expectation. Here's a stop sign. Put this on your door. Ideally, they'll stop. They'll stop. Now, give them some advice. Your best opportunity is to do this, right? Is to call your agent or go online and check reviews. Of course, the way I've built my company and the way I work with my clients, we're all focusing on that, right? So that's how we're going to build our business and brand, because I know that if they do that, what's going to come up first? Elite Roofing. They call their insurance agent. There's a good chance we've been in that insurance agent's office. So that's just playing to your strengths. If you're just showing up in a neighborhood and you have no presence there, you got to go with a different approach. So human to human, be genuine, be real. Don't be shady. If you act shady, if you have a bad attitude, people are going to sense that instantly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then straight up, I mean, I love this show because I get to get all this information. And Ben was on here the other day.
He just put in the comments too.
Ben, what's up, man? He's just straight up relentless. And this dude is going to make you say no 5 times before you leave your door. He's going to, and here's the thing. People aren't going to change their mind. You have to give them new information so they can make a new decision, right? I mean, an age-old sales 101. So if you ask them the situation, a question one way, and they say absolutely no, blah, 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 ask them a different question in a different way, or ask them the same question in a different way. Help them get more information to make a new decision. Going to help there. Here's one of my favorites, and it's called the walk away. You ever heard about the walk away?
Oh, okay.
Knock, knock, knock. Hi, I'm Randy with Elite Roofing. I'm going to do an inspection on your roof. I'll be right back. Walk away.
And that works. And that
literally make them come chase you down the driveway to tell you no. They won't actually always do that. There's half the time you get to that roof, your ladder's on your shoulder, you're setting it up, and they're just like, whatever. All right, talk to me. You kind of stun them. They're like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And you're gonna get the people that chase out after you that are all pissed off, but hey, I'm gonna do a free inspection on your roof. I'll be right back. You just go do it. Make them come out and interact with you. Worst case scenario, they're outside of their house, they're in their driveway, and now you're actually can interact with them a little bit and try to go back to those same tactics we just talked about.
I love that. That's awesome. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, you mentioned Jake Nix. He had another funny one where he was working in a neighborhood and he actually helped an older woman go. He went out and bought her groceries for her. He knew that she was a more of an influencer type in that neighborhood who had an impact on what people did. So he went and picked up her groceries for her. I thought that was pretty good too. So,
give away a gift card.
Gift card.
Hey, go spend a couple $100, $10 Starbucks gift cards. Hey, I know there's a bunch of roofers out here. I'm just here to share the love. I got a Starbucks gift card for you. If you like this, all I ask is if you allow me to check your roof. All I'm trying to do is verify damage. We already have another bunch of other appointments. Hail came through here a couple days ago, as you may know. Were you home for that? Oh, I was home. It was crazy. Oh, I got some saved in my freezer. Oh, cool. Let's see that. Get that conversation going. Oh, by the way, here's this. If you don't mind, I just want to inspect for my own sake, because I just want to verify that this neighborhood has the damage that I think it does. Oh, video. Here's a video. It does have it. Let's talk, right? Got to get creative, guys. You got to get creative. Competitive market out there.
So what about overcoming objections? On that aspect, my real question is, though, how do you identify what the true objection is? I feel like in a lot of circumstances, a customer doesn't want to tell you the truth, right? And so they're kind of giving you fluff and not really telling you what the real issue is. What's the best way to really understand what the true objection is so that way you can overcome it?
The best way is just through, open-ended questions. It's no different than any interrogator. They're going to just get you talking. So you have to ask the open-ended questions. And these open-ended questions can be nothing more than, who's your insurance company? How many people have been out here? Those are going to start with the closed-ended, then you're going to start going into the open-ended of, what are your biggest concern when you choose a contractor? What is your biggest concerns? Get them talking about, the process itself. But ultimately, you have to be listening to all the information that you pick up, because it's going to be in there. You ask them a question, I'm going to tell you they're going to lie to you. But throughout the process of them talking, they're going to give you the information. I'm going to tell you, buyers are liars. Especially when money's on the table, they're going to start lying to you. So when you're asking to try and find out what the true objection is, it's like when you're selling retail, you have to concede. If you don't concede, you're just arguing with them. I understand, no problem. I totally understand. I agree. You're going to concede to them. At that point, they're going to let their guard down. Then it's time to go in and deal with the objection to make sure that if I handle this objection, you're not going to give me 10 more. So I totally understand. Is this the only reason why we're not moving forward? Well, I also got the fact that I need to talk to my dad. I also got the fact that I'm not the owner. You never know what you're going to run into. So then you deal with the objection, whether it's the price, whether it's the payment, whether it's just timing. So that's more on the retail side. Randy could probably help you more on the storm side of when the objections come.
Well, there's a lot of similarities there, but here's the thing: the understanding the top 2-3 objections, top 4 objections, knowing that ahead of time. Okay, when you're doing a sales training, when you're training your people, you're working with Chuck, you're working with us, whatever you're doing, we're going to teach you. These are the top 4 objections, and we're going to his presentation is going to give you the tools to overcome those objections before they become objections. That's the objective. Like, you could focus all your energy on overcoming all these objections when they come, or know what the tough objections are, build your process to eliminate as many of those as possible, and then it becomes a pretty simple process of asking for the sale and or financing or whatever you're going to be doing. But the key there is, have you presented a price or have you not presented a price? Okay, that will determine whether they're lying to you or not.
That's perfect.
And most time they're lying, right? If the objection comes, if you've done a good job on your presentation, you've given them, hey, it's going to be your deductible, $2,500. We're not giving you, somebody's going to be giving away a whole bunch of free crap. If you're not giving away a whole bunch of free crap, or you're not covering their deductible or whatever, like, this is what's going to cost you. This is what you're going to get. Are you ready to move forward? Do you want to finance the deductible, or do you want to go ahead and write us a check when you're happy? A bunch of objections start coming. They don't want to pay their deductible. It's a price objection. 90% of objections after you've presented a price, after you've given a price, is a price objection. You just got to understand that, right? That's definitely in retail. So the idea is, what are the key ones? Okay, two-legged appointments, right? Oh, I got to check with my wife. Don't present to one person, present to 2. Boom, that objection's gone. I got to think about it. Ask them, hey, when did this happen? How long have you been thinking about this remodel? How long have you been thinking about this project? How long have you been thinking about? Ask them that up front. Boom, now they're thinking about it. One's gone. So and then the I need 3 bids. Okay, retail, give them 3 bids. Good, better, best. Best, better, good, right, Chuck? Yes, give them 3 bids. Here's your 3 different solutions that we came to solve your problems. With insurance, same type of thing. You can, it's not necessarily a 3 bid situation. You just got to be really good at explaining that insurance process and give them 3 options or upgrade options or something like that to help navigate that. Just get really good at those things and be, again, I preach this till I'm blue in the face, because everybody wants this magic bullet, but you just got to be a good person, right? Yeah. People buy from people they know and like and they trust. Yes. Be a good person. Be genuine. Be real.
Have fun with it too. I feel like
have fun, and your success will skyrocket just from that. Know what you're talking about and be a good person. Practice. And you'll be successful.
So, okay, first off, we got Matt Collins. He just jumped on. He says, "What's up?" We got a bunch of people on here saying, "What's going on?" Jose, he's out in Aurora doing some door to door. Colin, hey, first off, Ben's knocking in Iowa right now. Just rolled into town. All right, so we got knockers on here. They're making things happen. First off, shout out to Matt Collins. He completed the 75 hard. There's been a lot of guys out there giving it a go. He completed the whole thing. Randy, I say is a good time to put it on out here on the show that you are doing the 75 hard because that, hey, it's social. When you say stuff out in the world socially, then it keeps you accountable. Randy, you're on day 2.
Day 2.
All
day
right, bud.
2. So we'll
Proud
put
of
it
you,
out
man.
there in the world for anybody watching. If you've been thinking about it, and here's the thing, I want to take away. I know we got to dive into some stuff with you, Chuck. Though the thing is, I made up every excuse in the book. My wife did it, right? I'm busy. I'm running all these businesses. It's not the right timing. I got a vacation coming up and I want to have some drinks. Every excuse in the book. And it finally just dawned on me, I just sitting there and it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, there is no right time. Okay. If you want it, it's go time right now. Right now is the busiest time of the year. And it just made sense. Like, it's not a fitness challenge. It's a mental health challenge. It's sharpening your mind to be able to take control of your life. And for me, it just dawned on me, like, it's time. Like, there is no right time. The whole point is to be hard. The whole point is to make sacrifice. So I literally just went to my wife on Sunday night and I'm like, I think tomorrow morning I'm starting the 75 hard. And 2 days, I mean, granted, 2 days in, but I'm putting it out there. I'm going. Like, I don't mess around. Like, we're going to make this happen. We're going to get it done. And anybody else wants to join me, let's go. Either follow the journey, or if you're done making excuses, let's get started right now.
All right. You heard it here first, guys. Randy Brothers is in on the 75 hard challenge. I love it. All right. I got one more question before we go into the sponsor break. And then after the sponsor break, we're going to dive into top rep. Are you going to give away some of the secrets too, Chuck, or what's the deal here? You're going to share the audience some secret sauce a little bit?
Absolutely, man. Always.
I love it.
I'm a free book.
I love it. All right. Well, so last question before we dive into the sponsors and top rep. What percentage are you speaking in your presentations versus your customers?
I'd like to tell you that we speak probably 50% of the time. It's probably closer to 60% of the time. We do get we do get them talking. Some customers talk more than others. If you look at the platinum rule, you get a director, he's not talking. You're doing about 70% of the talking. You get a socializer, you're not getting, you're probably doing 20% of the talking because all they want to do is talk. You get a relator, about 50-50, a thinker. That guy's just going to drive you nuts with questions. So it really depends on what you get.
Yeah, 100%. What do you think, Randy? Same thing?
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, I guess the idea is to shoot for a 50-50 ratio. But again, if they're not talking, you're not doing your job right. So you got to ask the right questions and get them talking. Because again, they will sell themselves. They'll tell you what you need to do to close that deal. But stop being a salesman, right? Stop dominating the conversation. Control the conversation without dominating the conversation, right, Chuck? Like, that's the idea.
Right.
Is you want to narrate the conversation and have intentionality and practice and understand the sales process, but you got to ask them the right questions to get them talking about the right topic to get you the right answers. If they spend 2 hours talking about their dog and their kids in college, you failed.
That's right.
Right. Sorry, but there's other times to socialize. You got to still narrate and keep them on track. So it's a learned skill.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors, but then after that, we're getting Chuck's secret sauce. I mean, stuff is freaking gold, and he's about to just drop it on us. So let's do a quick thank you to our sponsors. Of course, we're going to start with the headline sponsors, Job Nimbus.
Job Nimbus is a fully customizable back office solution.
Track leads, jobs, tasks from one easy-to-use software.
And with the largest ecosystem of integrated partners, if we don't do it, we have a friend who does.
Learn how the #1 back office system in roofing
can help you be efficient, be organized, be professional, and be profitable.
So guys, make sure you guys are checking out Job Nimbus at info.jobnimbus.com/roofing-academy. And then before we go into our next sponsor, Randy, you have a good time with Showtime Smith, Ronnie Showtime Smith, Job Nimbus today?
Yeah, man, I got to hang out with Showtime all day long today. It was really cool. We got some reminiscing. Here's a story, guys. So me and Ronnie go back. We've been close, good friends since the day we met, right? So we brought on Job Nimbus back in 2016. It's been 5 years now, and we brought him in to kind of help build our system out and make. We were making a lot of changes. We had grown a lot and made a lot of changes, and I remember we just connected instantly, and that was right when I was just like working on the book, getting the book written, and and that over the year that we kind of developed Job Nimbus and got the book written. We got closer, and he was the first person to call me and say, hey, you've heard of the Job Nimbus Solution Summit, which is actually coming up in December in Cabo. That's going to be cool.
Cabo.
I'll probably talk about that next week. But their first one, there was like 50, 70 people there. He invited me to come, do a keynote there, and that was my very first speaking opportunity. I was scared shitless. I was nervous. I was like shaking, and here we are 160 episodes later with live shows and stuff. But yeah, man, we go back a long way, and it was really cool. We had cameras, and we just kind of reminisced on that whole story on how the last 5 years of our lives have commingled, as well as like how they've grown and how he's grown with Job Nimbus, and how our company and the academy and all that stuff was born. And we've been kind of simultaneous supporting each other the whole time. So keep a lookout for that. That'll come out soon. There'll be a YouTube video and stuff like that. Pretty cool day for sure.
Awesome, man. Well, cool. Well, so our next sponsor is going to be Sumoquote. Obviously, the entire conversation today has been about sales, presentation. A great tool to utilize is going to be Sumoquote. Are you looking to stand out with your proposal? Sumoquote is the contractor quote that crushes the competition. It is the fastest way to build custom quotes that impresses clients and wins more work. It's one of those must-have technologies for roofing contractors, allowing them to sell faster, sell more, and sell smarter. Be sure to check them out at try.sumoquote.com/start-build-grow. Make sure you're checking them out. All about presentation, how you present yourself. So last but not least, we have C3 Group.
C3 Group's learning management system allows users access to digital training content, virtual trainings, and integrated chapter exams, all with the goal of helping a student prepare for user certification exams, as well as prepare them for real-world situations we know are faced daily. As a leader in this marketplace, we will continue to add value wherever possible to better our industry as a whole. Join us today and be part of that change.
It's all about the virtual training, guys, right? You know it with the Roofing Academy, all these different amazing virtual training platforms where you and your team can learn from your computer, right? At home, at office, whatever it might be. If you guys want to look into their Xactimate training, go to c3adjusters.com and click on the Xactimate training tab and check out their course. It's pretty unbelievable. All right, but now back to the show. Chuck, all right, top rep. How did this come about? When is it? Tell us about it, and then let's get a little secret sauce from there.
All right. Well, top rep is it is going to be when it comes to sales, because we have a lot of association type conferences. We have a bunch of where you go, you meet a bunch of speakers and get to see bits and pieces. This is different. Top rep is right now you're looking at 40 of the biggest companies in our industry are coming in to New Braunfels, Texas, on June 28th and 29th. We still have a few company spots left for them to come in. We actually asked the venue to broaden it a little bit, which they agreed. And so when these people come in, when these top reps come in, they're coming in to compete. It's one thing to come in, sit there classroom style, and listen to me regurgitate what I've regurgitated for 20 years. But right now, what we're doing now is they're going through every step of the sale, not only the mindset of a top producer, but the steps of the sale. Then we're going to do breakouts. Everybody's going to, so there'll be groups of 5, and they're all going to get scored inside that group. And when they come back to the room to continue the training, the leaderboard will start popping up with everybody's scores, because they're all working on the script. They're all doing the role play. And so, I mean, it's going to be so neat to watch some of the best in our industry go at, the The training, some of them have even seen the training before. I have a lot of companies that have already had me out, and they're saying, "Hey, we want to get better. This has literally turned our company around, and we want to bring our people in. We want to sharpen the sword even more." So, I mean, you're going to learn A to Z. There is not going to be anything that is left on that, left on the table. It literally everything is going to be coming at you, and it's not going to feel like it's coming at you from a fire hose. You are going to be tired because it's not, hey, we're going to go through this. You're going to learn a little bit, then everybody's going to go out, get drunk, and then come back tomorrow. I mean, literally, it's going until about 6 o'clock. Then we're getting right back at it at 8 in the morning, and we're going to go till 6 o'clock again. So, I mean, it's going to be pretty intense.
That's awesome, man.
2 days or 3 days?
It's going to be 2 days.
2 days.
Mm-hmm. And I just put the link in the notes or in the comments. So it's topreptraining.com if you guys want to check it out to register. Make sure you guys are checking that out. Now, okay, so what kind of difference can a rep have in 2 days? I mean, is it mostly all the stuff they're learning there? Is it something that they're going to have to continue to build off of, or what can somebody expect?
Well, let's look at what I've been able to do in some of these companies in just 1 day. You have companies like Local Roofing that literally changed the way that they operate their business as far as the sales team. I mean, their sales team is operating at almost double at the moment. I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. And can you imagine what they can do in 2 days if I slowed things down and really dive into the weeds with them and make them do it in front of me? Not just, hey, this is the pitch, I hope everybody got their cameras out and videotaped it. But they're going to actually sit there and do it in front of us. We're going to critique them, make sure that they know it by the time they go back. I mean, it's, what they can do in 2 days is I can take somebody that is, maybe they're closing about 30-40%, and I promise you that they will be closing at 50 to 60% by the time they leave, when they go back, simply because they now understand the process more. They understand how to be different. Not just, hey, what makes you different? Oh, it's our great customer service. Nobody cares about your customer service until after the job is done. So you have to understand, what is it that truly makes you different? And we're going to explain that. We're going to explain how to do an inspection different than anybody else in your area. We're going to show you how to roll out price so that when the customer looks at it like, well, heck, I can afford that. I mean, the whole premise behind it is if you just make it easy enough, people will buy anything. We're going to show you how that works. When you get a difficult customer and they start just throwing anything and everything at you just to get you out of the house, you don't lose technique. Whether it's, we need to think about it, your price is too much, I need to talk to my dad, I need to talk to my son, which is two totally different things. It doesn't matter what's being thrown at you, you're going to know exactly how to deal with it. I need to get 3 estimates. You're going to know exactly how to deal with it. When we show it, I like to call it the hug. When we show them the hug, which in many of these companies that we go into, they're like, hey, everything was great, but the hug and the closing roadmap, that literally changed the way that our sales team operates. And so when the customer feels like they not only got a great deal, but there's nobody else in town that could have come close to this company, that's when things start to change. That's when things get easy. That's when sales meetings get fun. The other thing here is we're going to bring the owners and the managers into a different room during these breakout sessions. When all their reps are in there practicing, we're going to bring the owners and the managers in, and we're going to teach them how to rehash. And Randy, you've heard a little bit about my rehash program. I mean, this rehash program will take your business 10 to 25% more. I mean, if you're looking, it's like, man, we need leads. It's like, what are you doing with the leads that you already have? The rehash program done correctly will, and I guarantee it, will increase your business by 10 to 25%. Then we're going to talk about, the ultimate sales management, how sales managers are supposed to work, how to hire that sales manager, who are you looking for? We're going to talk about the lead aggregators. How is it that we can close $4.2 million on Home Advisor and everybody else is whining and complaining about it? I love it. It's 9% marketing cost. It's my lowest marketing cost. Please, jump off of Home Advisor so I can get more of them. We're showing people how to do this, and it's a system. It's not just, hey, here's a script, and I wish you the best of luck. We're showing you how to work this inside of your organization. If you leave and you haven't learned anything, it's because you literally had, hands over your ears. Very cool.
I love that, man. Well, hey, if you guys have not checked out, you said, what was the dates again? It was June 28th and 29th.
Yeah.
And what part of Texas?
That's in New Braunfels, Texas.
You guys got to check it out.
Put it in New Braunfels because if we put it in San Antonio or Austin, everybody's going to be at the bar. So
yeah, exactly. So you're keeping people out of the bar, making things happen, growing businesses, making sales reps better. Go to topreptraining.com. And then don't you guys have some kind of prize too for tell me a little bit about that.
So the top 10% of the attendees. So when you get there, you're going to get a gray top rep shirt. The top 10% will get black shirts, but the top rep is going to get a bomber's jacket. Plus, he's going to get $1,000 and be a guest speaker on the next top rep.
Cash money. All right, I like that.
We're going to take that top rep and teach him how to speak, teach him how to get out there and do the same.
Dang, there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we still, bring this thing to a close, we're going to do the Golden Nugget. Chuck, you already had the Golden Nugget, so you know how this thing goes. We put it on Randy Brothers first because the legend over here is just full of them. Right, Randy? I mean, for the 155th time, what do you got to say to the viewers out there?
I mean, I don't know how many times I'm starting to repeat myself here, but I don't know. For those of you who are loyal listeners who listen to all of them, I'm sorry. If not, maybe you need to hear it again. But no, honestly, I just kind of want to reiterate a little bit what I talked about earlier about excuses. It's so easy for us as humans to just instantly make an excuse. Okay, sales guys, just had a hailstorm, right? Hailstorm just happened. 3 people get on. Oh, well, I got on 2 roofs. Both of them had no damage. I'm going home. That's a freaking excuse. Like, I want to hear 20 roofs with no damage, before you give up. Like little things like that. Owners, right? I mean, the 75 hard. Like we tend to just human nature. We tend to always think, why not to do something? What's the excuse? Why the timing's not right to call Chuck? The timing's not right to join the roofing academy. The timing's not right to travel to get my people trained. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. It's too late. The flights are not made, right? What a storm just happened. I'll wait 2 days to kind of see what's going on. Like it's so easy. It's way easier to make excuses for everything in life than it is to just go for it, right? And just make a decision and live with the results. So stop making excuses, start making decisions, and start trusting your instinct and jump off that bridge and build your wings, right? As you're on your way down.
Amen to that.
That's awesome. I love it.
Preach it. What you got, Chuck?
So here is probably the biggest golden nugget that I can ever give to whether it's an owner, sales rep, sales manager, is, I'd love for everybody to come and get coached, but there are mentors out there, business mentors that they just own businesses and they want to be able to share the knowledge, so go out, find somebody. Find another company. If you're a $5 million company and you want to be a $10 or $20 million company, go find one, find the owner and just let him know, hey, I'm going to fly out to you. I'd just like to spend a day with you. Would you be willing to? And I promise you that whatever advice you give me, I will put that into play and I will let you know how that works. There's not an owner in the country that would say no unless they're, just slammed.
Mm-hmm.
But, that is probably the best advice I can give anybody. Even my own sales reps, I've even told them, I said, hey, I will pay to fly you out and you can go canvas with Elite or Ben Menchaca or somebody. I want you to learn from the best. And then you bring it back. You go find somebody that's willing to say, hey, I'm going to add value to you. I'm going to go out and get leads for you because I want to learn what you guys do. You guys keep the leads. I'm taking the knowledge back. Whatever the case may be, but get out, stop watching YouTube all the time, but get out, find somebody that does it better than you, learn from them and continue to grow yourself.
Let's go, man. I am a lucky dude. I got Chuck, I got Randy. some of the brightest minds, greatest dudes out in the roofing space on episode 155 of the Start Build Grow Show. Let's go. If this doesn't amp you up to do some action and have a good season this year, I don't know what will. Chuck, man, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it as always. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
You're the man. Appreciate you guys. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, click
Press
the
the
little
button.
notification button.
Press the button, right?
Press the button.
Press the button. Press
See
the
you next
button.
time.
All right, bye, guys.
See ya.